Guy Spier has written The Education of a Value Investor. This is an incredibly trenchant book about how to screw up and how to get smarter. I can't say enough about the value. Guy, you've got the fancy parchment from Harvard, from Oxford, and then you say in your brilliant chapter 2, you were dumb as wood. Let's go to a quote here from the book, and then I want to get Guy here on how people screw up every day. And here's the rub. What was the point of having studied and appreciated the deep elegance of John Rawls' theories of justice if it was so obtuse nobody could figure it out in the snake's pit over at D.H. Blair? I mean, how dumb were you when you got into this business?
You know, I mean, I was intellectually smart. I could do all of it in my neocortex, but I lacked some basic instincts. And, you know, when you've spent 6 years of your life in these elite institutions, you lose some basic instincts.
Did you lose that because you didn't have the math and statistics background from these leading schools to give you the rigor to then come over to the real world?
Absolutely not. It's not about maths and statistics. It's about common sense. And it's just amazing how little common sense you can pick up at these universities.
But the common sense that you did pick up came courtesy of one Warren Buffett, or at least learning about him and then eventually having a conversation with him after you won a charity auction where you got to have lunch with him, including unconventional is often better and remaining a child. Basically avoiding groupthink and getting caught up in the momentum of the crowd.
Yeah, and you know, what we learn at university is to think in complex ways, because that's what impresses people.
Yeah.
And there I am with Warren Buffett, who, believe me, has double my IQ, if not more. And I haven't met Albert Einstein, but making everything so simple. So simple that Monish Pabrai's children who were with me loved him. They felt like they were speaking to somebody that they could just continue to talk to. And that's what you're really looking for. And what you get in the academic environment is people who want to, in a certain way, they need to build themselves up, so they have to make it all complex. And you start thinking that that's the answer. I got into the world thinking that, and I fell flat on my face, real bad.
In other words, you overthought it all.
I overthought. I was sitting in my neocortex. I wasn't seeing what was in front of me because I was trying to analyze stuff.
All right, so help those of us who tend to think too much. That was what my high school football coach used to always tell. Johnson, stop thinking so much. So how do we get out of our heads?
I mean, I think that it's very hard when we've been trained that much. I think that one of the first things to do is that when we come into contact with adversity, the type of thing that we highly educated do is we want to analyze it. Instead, and look outside to analyze. Instead, we have to look inside ourselves and say, what's going on inside me that brought me into this situation? That's a very hard thing to do.